Hello and welcome to Jump Stop. We are so close to the NBA draft and there are some very intriguing prospects in this class. Today, I'll be taking you through a first round mock draft and how I think the first 30 picks will go. Let's get into it. Number 1, Cade Cunningham. With the first pick in the 2021 NBA draft, the Detroit Pistons select Cade Cunningham. Cade has been the consensus number 1 pick for years now, and whilst there have been rumours that Detroit is interested in Jalen Green, any team would have to be out of their minds to pass on Cade. Cade is a versatile 6'8" guard that averaged 20 points per game in his last season with Oklahoma State, the Cowboys. He managed to shoot an impressive 43% field goal percentage and 40% from 3. In his season with the Cowboys, Cade showed an extremely high offensive potential. Cade is a great playmaker both for himself and others with a high basketball IQ. However, Cade's ability to score from anywhere is his greatest attribute. Number 2, the Rockets select Jalen Green. There is a heated debate going on about whether the Rockets should select Jalen Green or Evan Mobley. There is about an equal opinion split for both sides. Multiple sources have even reported arguing between Houston Rockets staff on the decision. In this mock draft, I have the Rockets taking Jalen Green. His amazing scoring ability is just too hard to overlook. Last season for the G League Ignite team, Green averaged 17.9 points per game on 46% shooting and 36.5% on threes. Green also managed to pickpocket 1.5 steals a game. Green's main strengths are his athleticism and 3-level scoring ability. Number 3, the Cavs select Evan Mobley. After drafting Sexton, Garland, and Okoro in consecutive drafts, the Cavs would need some size, especially if Kevin Love is departing, which it seems like. So, the Cavs would be very happy if Mobley fell into their laps at number 3. Mobley is definitely the best big man in this draft, and at 7 feet, he impacts both ends of the floor. Last season, Mobley averaged 16.4 points per game and a ridiculous 2.9 blocks per game for the UCS Trojans. Mobley also managed to shoot 57.8% in the season. Mobley's main strengths are his rim protection and offensive skill set, where he uses his 7'4" wingspan on both ends. Number 4, the Toronto Raptors select Jalen Suggs. Whilst the Raptors are only 2 years removed from their title run, they find themselves with the 4th pick in the 2021 NBA draft. The Raptors are without a doubt the best team picking in the top 5 of this draft, and are looking for another piece to propel them back into contention. With Kyle Lowry's free agency on the horizon, the Raptors will look to find a floor general point guard.
Suggs for the win! Oh!
The answer is clearly Jalen Suggs. Suggs is an all-round guard that has showed potential in all aspects. In this year with Gonzaga, he averaged 14.4 points per game, 5.3 rebounds per game, 4.5 assists per game, and 1.9 steals per game. He also shot an outstanding 50.3% on shots, whilst leading Gonzaga all the way to an NCAA final. Suggs is an excellent playmaker and can find his teammates easily. My opinion of Suggs' greatest strength is his transition offense. He is very hard to stop once he gets to full speed. Number 5, the Magic select Jonathan Kuminga. Whilst there is a bit of a drop between numbers 4 and 5 on this list, Kuminga has a high upside and is the best player available for the Magic to select. Whilst being on the same team as Jalen Green, Kuminga still managed to drop an average of 15.8 points per game on 38.7% shooting. Kuminga is a 6'7" athletic forward that has a great ability to off-ball cut, and while some of his shot selections can be questioned, he is an excellent choice for the Magic. Number 6, Thunder selects Scottie Barnes. The Oklahoma City Thunder went from potentially having 2 top 5 picks to having none. However, OKC is the team that can least complain about draft picks in the coming years. Because the Thunder are still rebuilding, they should just take the best player available here, and that is Scottie Barnes. Barnes is a 6'9" forward that excels at playmaking and defense. Barnes averaged 10.3 points per game last season and is a good start for Oklahoma City Thunder's treasure trove of draft picks. Number 7, the Warriors select Davion Mitchell. Whilst there is a good chance that the Warriors trade this pick for a star, there is still a lot of potential at number 7 in this draft. If the Warriors don't trade this pick, I think they will select Davion Mitchell from Baylor. It might sound crazy to draft a guard to a team with Steph and Clay, but the Warriors really need help when those two players are off the floor. Davion can slide into the Warriors' rotation to fulfill their offense and also add much-needed defense. Last season, Davion averaged 14 points per game to lead Baylor to the NCAA title and would be the leader for the Warriors' second unit. Number 8, the Magic select James Bouknight. This is probably the toughest choice so far to make. There is so much talent around number 8, so this is where things get tricky. However, the Magic have already drafted athletic talent of Jonathan Kuminga, so they should surround him with a real bucket getter. The best person for this job at number 8 is James Bouknight. Bouknight spent last season playing for UConn, where he averaged 18.7 points per game on 44.7% shooting. Bouknight is an excellent finisher at the rim and has shown great potential to be a defensive guard, something valued very highly in the NBA. Number 9. The Kings select Franz Wagner. Wagner is a 6'9" forward that averaged 12.5 points per game in Michigan. He is an excellent pick-and-roll player that can set up easy buckets for his guards. This is the sort of player the Kings want surrounding De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese Halliburton. Wagner is also great at making defensive reads. Number 10. The Pelicans select Corey Kispert. Coming into this draft, the Pelicans need to surround Zion with as much shooting as possible. Corey Kispert can definitely do that. Corey enters this draft coming off a season in which he shot 44% on three-pointers for Gonzaga, whilst making 18.6 points per game. Kispert can make an immediate impact on the Pelicans as soon as he enters the NBA. Number 11. The Hornets select Keon Johnson. Keon Johnson moved up everyone's mock drafts a few spots after breaking the NBA Combine record. Keon recorded a vertical jump of an amazing 48 inches, proving his outstanding athletic abilities. Playing for Tennessee this last season, Johnson averaged 11.3 points per game, whilst producing a lot of highlight dunks. Johnson also uses his athletic ability to be an elite on-ball defender. The Hornets would be happy to still see Keon available at 11. Number 12. The Spurs select Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey spent last season in Australia playing for the NBL. Giddey is the sort of player who has shown he can produce triple-doubles when needed. He averaged 10.9 points per game, 7.3 rebounds per game, and 7.6 assists per game for the Adelaide 36ers. Giddey is also widely known as one of the best passers in this draft. Giddey has a very high upside and would extremely well fit the San Antonio Spurs. Number 13. The Pacers select Moses Moody. Moses Moody is a two-guard from Arkansas where he averaged 16.8 points per game. Moody has a 7-foot wingspan which makes him a great defending guard. Moody has also shown potential to be an excellent knockdown shooter. A comparison that frequently has been made to Moody is Team USA forward Chris Middleton. The Pacers would be excited to take someone like Moody at 13. At 14, the Warriors pick Alperen Sengun. For the final pick of the lottery, the Warriors look to get a big man after picking Mitchell at 7. The best of these left is Alperen Sengun. Sengun played his last season for the Turkish League and could very well be the steal of the draft because of it. Sengun is a talented big that averaged 18.6 points per game on 62% shooting. Sengun's biggest strengths are his post scoring and offensive rebounding. Although the Warriors only just drafted Wiseman, Sengun can provide extra depth at both center and power forward, and has a realistic chance of becoming better than last year's number 2 pick. At 15, the Wizards pick Kai Jones. The one thing that the Wizards need is defense. Last year, they proved to be atrocious at stopping the other team from scoring. Luckily for them, Kai Jones is still on the board. Jones has a 6'1" wingspan which allows him to record 8.8 points per game for Texas. However, defense is really where Kai shows he deserves to be picked this high. Jones is a lockdown defender that doesn't let anyone he's guarding get an easy bucket. Just ask Cade Cunningham. With the 16th pick, the Thunder select Jalen Johnson. Once again, the Thunder are in full rebuild mode. With all of their draft picks, they should just pick the highest upside player and hope that a few of them turn into All-Stars. At number 16, this player is Jalen Johnson. Johnson showed high potential at his partial season at Duke. He averaged 11.2 points per game and showed great defensive and athletic potential. The only reason Jalen slips this low is because he left Duke halfway through the season wanting to focus on the draft. This act of disloyalty has put multiple teams off. With the 17th pick, the Memphis Grizzlies select Usman Garuba. The Memphis Grizzlies probably have the best young core in the league. They have a good depth mostly from young players, and add another one here, in Garuba. Whilst Garuba's stat sheet may not look great, he's the type of player where his defense doesn't show up on the stats. He's an excellent recovery defender, and he uses his 6'3" wingspan to block and bother shots. Number 18. The Thunder select Sharife Cooper. Yep, it's the Thunder yet again. So far with their first 2 picks, they drafted forwards both times. This time, they're looking to draft the best player whilst not picking all forwards. So the Thunder select Sharife Cooper. Honestly, at this point in the draft, how could OKC ignore someone who averaged 20.2 points per game for the Auburn Tigers? Cooper's speed is his secret weapon which allows him to score a lot of points. Along with his great ball handling, Cooper can work his way into the paint and use his finishing moves to score. Cooper is also very good at drawing fouls. Number 19. The New York Knicks select Jared Butler. The Knicks would love to get Sharife Cooper at this spot, but he was just taken. However, New York still has another good option at point guard, Jared Butler. Butler averaged 16.7 points per game and together with Davion Mitchell won the NCAA tournament for Baylor. Butler has a high upside with clear skills in three-point shooting, playmaking, and ball handling and would be a great new addition to New York's backcourt. Number 20, the Hawks select Tre Mann. The Hawks need a good other point guard option besides Trae Young to be on their team. Mann would provide a great scoring option on the Hawks' second unit after scoring 16 points per game for Florida. Mann could become a potent 3-level scorer if he develops well on the Hawks. Number 21, the Knicks select Trey Murphy. With this pick in the first round, the Knicks are most likely to go for another guard to increase backcourt depth once again, especially if Noel stays. For this pick, I think the Knicks will pick Trey Murphy III. Murphy is a good 3-and-D player that averaged 11.3 points per game while shooting a 50-40-90 for a college player. If the Knicks develop his shooting and encourage him to take more shots, he could develop into an elite scorer. Number 22, the Lakers select Chris Duarte. If the Lakers want to get back to their winning ways, they need to increase their backcourt depth and get some more good guards. Duarte is a good way to start that. Duarte averaged 17.1 points per game for Oregon and has features that every great guard needs. Duarte has a good 3-point shot and is exceptional on pick-and-roll plays. Number 23, the Rockets select Isaiah Jackson. Because the Rockets pass on Mobley at number 2, they will need to draft a forward or center here. Isaiah Jackson fits the bill perfectly. Jackson boasts a 7'3" wingspan which he uses to protect the rim and display athletic plays. He also has shown a good potential in post scoring. Number 24, the Rockets select Zaire Williams. For the second half of the Rockets' back-to-back picks, the Rockets take a risk. Zaire was predicted to be a lottery pick before he shot just 37.4% from the field. However, Williams still managed to achieve 10.7 points per game. Williams is also a great playmaker and defender, so if the Rockets can help improve his shooting, Zaire Williams has a high ceiling. Number 25, the Clippers select Jaden Springer. The Clippers are probably going to need a small forward because of Kawhi's injury. He's said to be out at least 9 months. However, the Clippers would have to reach down a lot to get a small forward as the best player available are guards. I think the Clippers should leave the task of getting a small forward to free agency. In this case, LA should select Jaden Springer. Springer averaged 12.5 points for Tennessee on 46.7% shooting and 43% on three-pointers. Springer has great size with good athleticism in which he's both promising as an offensive weapon and defensive lockdown player. Springer also has a very fast reaction time and is great at getting one-on-one steals. Number 26, the Nuggets select Cam Thomas. The Nuggets' greatest need in this offseason is a good scoring shooting guard. Lucky for them, Cam Thomas is still available. Thomas shot an impressive 23 points per game for the LSU Tigers, where his best skill was shooting the ball. Thomas showed that he could knock down shots from anywhere on the court with a high efficiency, and is also a great free throw shooter. Number 27, the Nets select Day'Ron Sharpe. Whilst the Nets really don't need any more help, they lack some depth at center, so they pick up Day'Ron Sharpe here. Sharpe averaged 9.5 points per game and showed potential as a great defender. Sharpe also has a variety of moves that he uses to finish, such as spin moves and underarm finishes. Number 28, the 76ers select Joshua Primo. The 76ers are looking to trade Ben Simmons, so I recommend them taking a guard here. At this spot, I think they will take Joshua Primo. Primo averaged 8.1 points per game for Alabama and is a scary catch-and-shot threat. Leaving Primo open from beyond the arc is just asking him to score, while putting a hand in front of his face significantly decreases the percentage of his shot going in. Primo is still one of the youngest players in this draft, being born on Christmas Eve 2002. Number 29, the Suns select Charles Bassey. The Suns definitely need a backup center behind DeAndre Ayton if they want to make it to the finals again. The best center available now is Charles Bassey, from Western Kentucky. Bassey is a versatile big that can impact both sides of the floor. He averaged 17.6 points per game by making shots in a variety of ways and was able to contest a lot of shots. Number 30, the Jazz select JT Thor. JT has great athleticism for a 6'10 big and uses his long outreaching arms to both block shots and dunk on people. His best position is power forward, which is what the Jazz need more of. He's also a highly regarded prospect because of his defensive versatility. Alright, and that wraps up this mock draft. Thanks for watching, and if you liked the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more NBA content.